All right, this is our snow day lesson on multiplying exponents. We're going to try to make it as simple as we can to help you do the worksheet. When you turn that worksheet in, that counts as your attendance for the day, so make sure you get that turned in today as soon as you can. There'll be a video with the solutions on there, but this just helps you out. When we have an exponent like this, 2 squared, all that means is that we're taking 2 times itself 2 times. And when we have 2 to the 3rd power, that means we're multiplying 2 by itself 3 times. So when we multiply those two things together, it's those 2 2's from here times these 3 2's. That means we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 2's all together, right? So we could say that 2 to the 2nd times 2 to the 3rd is the same as 2 to the 5th. And what we notice is that if I just had taken that 2 plus that 3 and added them together, I would have gotten that 5, right? So this is actually a rule. When you have the same base, same thing multiplying to one exponent and the other, we can just add these exponents together. We can just go m plus n, and that's the new exponent here. So if I have 4 to the 7th times 4 to the 6th, that's the same as 4 to the 13th. Notice I keep the base the same. I don't go 4 times 4 is 16. We don't want to do that. There's 7 4's times 6 4's. Altogether, there's 13 4's. This is 5 8's times 1 8 times 2 8. 5 plus 1 plus 2 altogether is 8. So we get 8 to the 8th. Here there's 3 negative 3's. There's 1 negative 3. We add 3 plus 1. This is going to be negative 3 to the 4th power. Here I have b to the 1st, 3rd, 5th, 2nd. 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 2 will be 11. So that's b to the 11th. So again, if I have x to the 3rd, x to the 1st, x to the 5th, and I multiply them together, I'm going to add the exponents. 3 plus 1 plus 5 will give me x to the 9th. In this case, I'm going to do x's with x's. So 12 and 4, if I add those together, will give me x to the 16th. And then 6 and 4, if I add those together, 6 plus 4 will give me y to the 10th. Here again, I'm going to do x's with x's. So I have 5 plus negative 4 plus 1. 5 plus negative 4 is 1. 1 plus 1 gives me 2. Then you have this y to the 6th. It didn't have anything to combine with, so it just stays y to the 6th. Here I have 1, 2, 3, 4 a's, so that'll be a to the 4th. We have 1, 2, 3 b's multiplying, so b to the 3rd. And we have 1, 2, 3 c's, so c to the 3rd. Now, could I do something like this? The answer is no. I can't. If they're not the same base, I can't add these exponents. I can only do x's with x's or numbers with numbers. I could, if I wanted, to go 3 squared. 3 times 3 is 9, and write that as 9x to the 4th, but that's as far as you can go. You can only do this rule if those bases are the same, all right? So when I get here, I have 4 times 6. These are just numbers. I'm going to go ahead and multiply. 4 times 6 is 24. And then we have 5 W's and 8 W's. So if you listed those 5 W's and these 8 W's, all together you'd have 5 plus 8 or 13 W's. So it's important to note that our exponents we're adding together, but these numbers are not exponents. They're just plain old numbers. So we're just going to go ahead and multiply them together like we would normally do. So same thing here. Negative 3 times 7 is negative 21. And then the exponent, 6 plus 3, give us 9. That's how we're going to handle this. Okay. Here I have 2 and 8. So 2 5's and 8 5's gives me 10 5's. So keep that base the same. Don't make that 25. It was 2 5's and 8 5's. Altogether we have 10 5's, not 10 25's. Here, I've got plain numbers, 10, 4, and 2. We're going to go ahead and multiply. 10 times 4 times 2 is 80. We have 6 b's plus 1, which is 7, plus 6 more makes 13. Here, we have 5 times 3 times 2. That's equal to 30. And then we have 6 plus 5, that's 11, plus 1 more makes 12. So you're adding those exponents, and multiplying the numbers that are there. And if it's a base like this, you're keeping that base the same. Here we're going to go 20 times negative 2 times 5. If you do that, you should get negative 200. And then we have negative 5 plus 1, that's negative 4, plus 12 gives us 8. And just adding those exponents up. 6 times 4 is 24. 2 plus 7 makes 9. 10 times 6 is 30. 4 plus negative 3 is 1, x to the first, or just x. And then 3 plus 5 makes 8. In a case like this, we're going to multiply first. So we're going to go 4 times 2, that's 8. X times 1 plus 3 will give us x to the fourth. Okay, so now we have 8 x to the fourth plus 5 x to the fourth. So if you have 8 of these and you add 5 more of these, you'll have 13 of these, right? So it'll be 13x to the fourth. So we wouldn't change that exponent. We're not multiplying them together. We're saying we have 8 of these plus 5 more give us 13 of those. Okay, so it's easy to get a little confused when you're doing stuff like that. Here we're going to distribute. 4 times 2 is 8. M squared. 1 plus 2 gives us m to the third. Then 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. 1 plus 1 gives us m to the second. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and combine like terms. We have negative 12m squareds plus 5m squareds. Negative 12 plus 5 gives us negative 7m squareds. 8m to the third plus 10 more give us 18m to the thirds. So again, if we distribute here, I've got 8 times 1 is going to give me 8. 3 plus 2 on the exponents gives me x to the fifth. 8 times negative 2 is negative 16. 3 plus 1 gives us x to the fourth. Okay, then we have our other stuff here. So we have 8 of these plus 10 more of those give us 18 of those. 18x to the fifths. And then negative 16 of these plus 16, those are actually going to cancel. And that'll be our final answer. Again, just to reiterate, when we have the base like this, this means we have 5 12s times 8 more 12s. So altogether you would have 12 5s times 8 5s would give us 20 5s. You're not going to multiply it in a case like that. Same thing here. You have 6 to the third means 6 times 6 times 6. 6 to the fourth is 6 4 times another 6. Altogether, we have 8 6s, not 8 36s. So I want to make sure to write it like that. Okay. Last one here. Then you can go ahead and try the worksheet. 2 times 3 times 4 is 24. We have a w to the third. We have a y to the fourth. We have a z to the fifth. None of those could combine with anyone else because they weren't the same. And so that's as far as we can go. All right, do your worksheet, watch the video to get you do the answers, and then turn that in, and that'll be your attendance for today.